Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda 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 Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki. Appearance day of the Golden Avatar Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki. Grantara Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki. Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Miritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamakyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Shimadhe Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I would like to sing a song, but before that I would like to read the purport of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada to the song that we just sang during the Arati. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koro More. Srila Prabhupada has amazing purport to this song. This is a song composed by Narottam Das Thakur. He prays to Lord Chaitanya. My dear Lord, please be merciful to me, because who can be more merciful than your Lordship within these three worlds? Actually, this is a fact. Not only Narottam Das Thakur, but also Rupa Goswami prayed to Lord Chaitanya in this way. At the time of the first meeting of Lord Chaitanya and Rupa Goswami at Prayag, Allahabad, Sri Rupa Goswami said, My dear Lord, you are the most magnificent of all incarnations, because you are distributing love of Krishna, Krishna consciousness. When Krishna was personally present, he simply asked us to surrender, but he did not distribute himself so easily. He made conditions. First of all, you surrender. But this incarnation, Lord Chaitanya, although Krishna himself makes no such condition, he simply distributes. Take love of Krishna. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya is approved as the most magnificent incarnation. Narottam Das Thakur says, Please be merciful to me. You are so magnanimous because you have seen the fallen souls of this age and you are very much compassionate to them. But you should know also that I am the most fallen. No one is more greatly fallen than I am. Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatar. Your incarnation is just to reclaim the conditioned fallen souls. But I assure you that you will not find a greater fallen soul than me. Therefore, my claim is first. Then he prays to Lord Nityananda. He says, Aha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi. My dear Lord Nityananda, you are always joyful in spiritual bliss. Since you always appear very happy, I have to come to you because I am most unhappy. If you kindly put your glance over me, I may also become happy. Then he prays to Advaita Prabhu, Doyo Koro Sita Pati, Advaita Gusai. Advaita Prabhu's wife name was Sita. Therefore, he is sometimes addressed as Sita Pati. What means Pati? Husband. Sita Pati. Thus Narottam Das Thakur says, My dear Advaita Prabhu, husband of Sita, you are so kind, please be kind to me. If you are kind to me, naturally, Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda will also be kind to me. Actually, Advaita Prabhu invited Lord Chaitanya to come down. When Advaita Prabhu saw that the fallen souls were all engaged simply in sense gratificatory process, not understanding Krishna consciousness, he felt very much compassionate toward the fallen souls, and he also felt himself incapable of claiming them all. He therefore prayed to Lord Krishna, "Please come yourself. Without your personal presence, it is not possible to deliver these fallen souls." Thus by his invitation, Lord Chaitanya appeared. Naturally, Narottam Das Thakur prays to Advaita Prabhu, "If you will be kind to me, naturally Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda also will be kind to me." Then he prays to the Goswamis, "Aha, Swarupa, Sanatana, Rupa, Raghunatha." Swarup refers to Swarup Damodar, the personal secretary of Lord Chaitanya. He was always with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he immediately arranged for whatever he wanted. Two personal attendants, Swarup Damodar and Govinda, were constantly with Lord Chaitanya. Therefore, Narottam Das Thakur also prays to Swarup Damodar and then to the 6 Goswamis. The next disciples of Lord Chaitanya, Shri Rupa, Shri Sanatan, Shri Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Shri Jiva Goswami, and Raghunath Das Goswami. These 6 Goswamis were directly instructed by Lord Chaitanya to spread this movement of Krishna consciousness. Narottam Das Thakur also prays for their mercy. After the 6 Goswamis, the next Acharya is Srinivas Acharya. Actually, Narottam Das Thakur was in the disciplic succession after Srinivas Acharya and was almost his contemporary. And his personal friend was Ramachandra Chakravarti. Therefore, he prays, "I always desire the company of Ramachandra." He desires a devotee's company. The whole process is that we should always pray for the mercy of the superior acharyas and keep company with pure devotees. Then it will be easier for us to advance in Krishna consciousness and receive the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Krishna. This is the sum and substance of this song sung by Narottam Das Thakur. Narottam Das Thakur ki jai. And now we are going to sing a song of Lochan Das Thakur. Who can play tutal? You can play tutal? Two. Who can? Okay. Parama karuna bahudui jana nitai Gaura chanda. Sabhavatara, Sabhavatara, Sarashiromani, Kevala Ananda Kanda. Sabhavatara, Sabhavatara, Sarashiromani, Kevala Ananda Kanda. Bajo Bajo Bai, Chaitanya Nitai, Sudrida Vishwasa Khori. Vishaya Chadiya, Vishaya Chadiya, Sera se majia, mukhe bolo Hari Hari. Sera se majia, mukhe bolo Hari Hari. Mukhe bolo Hari Hari, mukhe bolo Hari Hari. Hari Hari. Dekhe ore bai, tribhuvane nai, emona doyala datha. Pashupaki jure, Pashupaki jure, Pashana vidare, Shuni jara gunagata. Pashupaki jure, Pashupaki jure, Pashana vidare, Shuni jana. Pashupaki jure, Pashupaki jure, Pashana vidare, Shuni jana gunagata. Samsare majia, rohili ponia, separe nahi lo asha. Apana karama, apana karama, bunjaye samana, kahaye lochana dasa. Apaya kamana, bunjaye samana, kahaye lochana dasa. Kohoye lochana dasa, kohoye lochana dasa. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. Srila Prabhupada has translation also and purport to this song. It's a very beautiful song. This is a song by Lochan Das Thakur. Bahu means lords and Duijana means two. Lochan Das Thakur declares that the two lords, Nitai, Gaura Chandra, Lord Nitai and Lord Chaitanya, are very merciful. Parama Karuna. Sabha Avatara Sara Shiromani. Avatara means incarnation and Sabha means O. They are the essence of all incarnations. The specific significance of these incarnations is that prosecuting their way of self-realization is simply joyful. Kevala Ananda Kanda. So the process they are giving is complete bliss. There is nothing else than bliss in the process that they are giving. For they introduce chanting and dancing. There are many incarnations such as Lord Rama and even Krishna, who taught Bhagavad Gita, which requires knowledge and understanding. But Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda introduced a process that is simply joyful, simply chanting and dancing. Therefore, Lochan Das requests everyone, Bhajo Bhajo Bhai Chaitanya Nitai, my dear brothers, I request that you just worship Lord Chaitanya Nityananda with firm conviction and faith. Don't think that this chanting and dancing will not lead to the desired goal. It will. It is the assurance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that one will get all perfection by this process. Therefore, one must chant with firm faith and conviction. Vishvasa Kori. But what is the process? The process is Vishaya Chadiya Sera Se Majia. If one wants to be Krishna conscious by this process, one has to give up his engagement in sense gratification. That is the only restriction. If one gives up sense gratification, it is sure that he will reach the desired goal. Mukhe bolo Hari Hari. One simply has to chant Hare Krishna, Hari Hari, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, without any motive or sense gratification. Deka ore bhai, Tribhuvanenai, Lochan Das Thakur says, my dear brothers, you just try to examine this. Within the three worlds, there is no one like Lord Chaitanya or Lord Nityananda, because their merciful qualities are so great that they make even birds and beasts cry. What to speak of human beings? Actually, when Lord Chaitanya passed through the forest known as Jarikanda, the tigers, elephants, snakes, deer, and all other animals joined him in chanting Hare Krishna. Snakes also, says Srila Prabhupada. It is so nice that anyone can join. Even the animals can join. What to speak of human beings? Of course, it is not possible for ordinary men to induce animals to chant. But if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could inspire animals to chant, at least we can encourage human beings to adopt this path of Hare Krishna mantra chanting. It is so nice that even the most stone-hearted men will be melted. Pashana means stone. It is so nice that even stone will melt. So that means we also have a chance. But Lochan Das Thakur regrets that he is entrapped by sense gratification. He addresses himself, my dear mind, you are entrapped in this sense gratification process and you have no attraction for chanting Hare Krishna. Since you have no attraction for the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, what can I say? I can simply think of my misfortune. Yamaraj, the superintendent of death, is punishing me by not allowing me to be attracted by this movement. Lochan Das Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. There is an interesting story. Mother of Lord Chaitanya, Sachi Devi, she had a dream. And in the dream, Krishna and Balaram were present and they wanted to take the offering of Mother Sachi. But then Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, they came and they started quarreling with Krishna and Balaram. I said, what are you doing here? This is not for you. They said, what do you mean? We are the Supreme Lord. We are the Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam. We are the enjoyers of all yagyas, all offerings. They said, no, you're wrong. This is our age. Get out of here. We are taking all the offerings in the age of Kali. So the age of Kali is the age of Lord Chaitanya. And yes, he is known as the Namo Mahavadanyaya, the most magnificent incarnation, because the process he is giving is very easy, at the same time very sublime. He is ready through this process to give pure love of God. In the previous Kali Yugas, it is explained that also the main process for deliverance was the chanting of the names of God. But through this process you can get only mukti, only liberation. But in this Kali Yuga, that's why this Kali Yuga is so special, because of the appearance of Lord Chaitanya, who is none different but Krishna himself, who is coming in the mood of Srimati Radharani, in the mood of servant. He is giving pure love of God to anyone. He is not discriminating. He is ready to give his mercy to anyone and everyone. As Srila Prabhupada said, he is not putting any conditions. Everyone is qualified to get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. So now I would like to read from chapter 13 of Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is called The Advent of Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we are starting now, and I don't know when we are going to finish. So feel free to stay, to embrace the nectar with your ears. Text 1. Sa prasidatu Chaitanya Devo yasya prasadata talila varnane yogya sadya syat adamo pi ayam. I wish to grace the grace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by whose mercy even one who is fallen can describe the pastimes of the Lord. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya. No, it's not like that. Jaya Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Gaura Chandra, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Jaya Nityananda. Text 3. Jaya Jaya Gadadhar, Jaya Srinivas, Jaya Mukunda, Vasudeva, Jaya Haridas. All glories to Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Haribo. All glories to Advaita Chandra. All glories to Lord Nityananda Prabhu. All glories to Gadadhar Prabhu. All glories to Srivas Thakur. All glories to Mukunda Prabhu and Vasudeva Prabhu. All glories to Haridas Thakur. Jaya Damodar Swarup, Jaya Murari Gupta, Ei Saba, Chandrodaye, Tama Kaila Lupta. All glories to Swarup Damodar and Murari Gupta. All these brilliant moons have together dissipated the darkness of this material world. Text 5. Jaya Shri Chaitanya Chandrera Bhakta Chandragana Saba Prema Jyotsnaya Ujvala Tribhuvana. All glories to the moons who are devotees of the principal moon, Lord Chaitanya Chandra. All the devotees of Lord Chaitanya Chandra. Their bright moonshine illuminates the entire universe. Haribo. Thus I have spoken the preface of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Now I shall describe Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes in chronological order. First, let me give a synopsis of the Lord's pastimes, then I shall describe them in detail. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, adventing himself in Navadvip, was visible for 48 years, enjoying his pastimes. In the year 1407 of the Shaka era, AD 1486, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, and in the year 1455, AD 1534, he disappeared from this world. So then, dear devotees, how many years we have today from the appearance of Lord Chaitanya? 540. And how many from his disappearance? What? Hey, statistics. Okay. Yes, correct. Lord Chaitanya left this world 492 years ago. And he appeared 540 years ago. For 24 years, Lord Chaitanya lived in the Grihastha Ashrama, household life, always engaging in the pastimes of the Hare Krishna movement. After 24 years, he accepted the renounced order of life, sannyas, and he resided for 24 years more at Jagannath Puri. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave perfect example as a Grihastha, and after that he gave a perfect example living as a renunciate. So both. He was teaching everyone. It doesn't matter which ashrama they are situated, how properly to perform their spiritual dharma. Of this, the last 24 years, he spent the first 6 continually touring India, sometimes in South India, sometimes in Bengal, and sometimes in Vrindavan. For the remaining 18 years, he continuously stayed in Jagannath Puri, chanting the nectarian Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He inundated everyone there in a flood of love of Krishna. The pastimes of his household life are known as Adi Lila, or the original pastimes. His later pastimes are known as Madhya Lila and Antya Lila, or the middle and final pastimes. So Adi Lila describes the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya from which year to which year? From? Yes, correct. That was my question. And then Madhya Lila and Antya Lila? Correct. Second half of his life. All the pastimes enacted by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Adi Lila were recorded in summary form by Murari Gupta. His later pastimes, the Madhya Lila and Antya Lila, were recorded in the form of notes by his secretary, Swarup Damodar Goswami, and thus kept within a book. By seeing and hearing the notes recorded by these 2 great personalities, a Vaishnava, a devotee of the Lord, can know these pastimes one after another. In his original pastimes, there are 4 divisions: Balya, Pauganda, Kaishora, and Yauvana. Childhood, early boyhood, later boyhood, and youth. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the full moon, evening, in the month of Pauguna, an auspicious time full of auspicious symptoms, when Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advented himself with the chanting of the holy name, Hare Krishna. So it is very interesting how everywhere when it is said that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was chanting the holy name, Srila Prabhupada makes it immediately practical for us. He says he was chanting Hare Krishna, so that there is no any confusion. But wait a minute, did he chanted Hare Krishna? Maybe he chanted something else. No. Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And we have a song of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Gai Gaura Madhur Svare Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is repeating sweetly the following words. He is singing, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the acharyas, they make it practical for us. We have to chant Hare Krishna. Otherwise we may become confused. Oh, wait a minute, which exactly names? Now we have to make a research and see the truth. Maybe something was hidden from us. No. Hare Krishna. On the full moon evening of the month of Phalguna, when the Lord took birth, coincidentally there was also a lunar eclipse, like today. So as Hamsarupa Prabhu explained in the morning, in the Vedic culture, eclipses, they are considered not an auspicious time. Yes? And in India, even they completely close the temples. They close the altar. Nothing is happening. Normally you shouldn't eat at that time because the food is contaminated by bad influence and you're eating this bad negative influence. So at that time, during the appearance of Lord Chaitanya, there was such a lunar eclipse, and because of that, everyone was very eager to counteract the negative influence, and that's why everyone was chanting. In jubilation, everyone was chanting the holy name of the Lord, Hari, Hari. And Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then appeared after first causing the appearance of the holy name. So already from the moment of appearance of Lord Chaitanya, it was obvious what is his mission, to spread the holy name everywhere. Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar, Krishna Hoite Haya Sarva Jagatanishtar. So Krishna is appearing in the form of his holy name in this Kali Yuga, and he will deliver the whole universe, Jagatanishtar. At his birth, in his childhood, and in his early and later boyhood, as well as in his youth, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, under different pleas, induced people to chant the holy name of Hari, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. In his childhood, when the Lord was crying, he would stop immediately upon hearing the holy names Krishna and Hari. All the friendly ladies who come to see the child would chant the holy names Hari Hari as soon as the child would cry. When all the ladies saw this fun, they enjoyed laughing and called the Lord Gaura Hari. What is the meaning, Gaura Hari? The golden Hari. From then on, Gaura Hari became another of his names. So can you tell me different names of Lord Chaitanya? Nimai. Why he is known as Nimai? Born under Neem tree, okay. Why he is known as Sachinandana? Very good. Jagannath Mishra Sutta. Okay. Gauranga. Why Gauranga? Okay. His form has a golden complexion. Okay. Gaura Sundar, the beautiful Gauranga. Okay. Vishwambar. What is the meaning of Vishwambar? Huh? Lord of the universe. But we heard very interesting explanation in the morning during Mangalarati. Do you remember why he is known as Vishwambar? Yeah, Vishwambar means literally someone who is maintaining the whole universe, the life of the whole universe. So how Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is maintaining the life of the whole universe? In the morning we read, by distributing the nectar of devotion the nectar of devotional service, by giving Krishna consciousness to everyone. In this way, he is the Vishvambar, the maintainer of all living entities, by giving them Krishna Prema. Okay? And Chaitanya, what is the meaning of Chaitanya? Consciousness. So why Chaitanya? Mayavadis, they cannot chant Krishna, so he took the name Chaitanya to purify even the Mayavadis. Okay. That was the brahmachari name of Lord Chaitanya. Yeah? Chaitanya. So he kept it. His childhood lasted until the date of Hate Kari, the beginning of his education, and his age from the end of his childhood until he married is called Pauganda. After his marriage, his youth began. And in his youth, he induced everyone to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra anywhere and everywhere. During his Pauganda age, he became a serious student and also taught disciples. In this way, he used to explain the holy name of Krishna everywhere. When teaching a course in grammar, Vyakarana, and explaining it with notes, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught his disciples about the glories of Lord Krishna. All explanations culminated in Krishna, and his disciples would understand them very easily. Thus his influence was wonderful. So he would teach his students grammar, but actually he would teach them Krishna consciousness, because all the time they would repeat just different names of Krishna. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a student, he asked whomever he met to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. In this way, he inundated the whole town of Navadvip with the chanting of Hare Krishna. Just prior to his youthful life, he began the Sankirtana movement. Day and night, he used to dance in ecstasy with his devotees. Nagare nagare brahme kirtana karaya basaila tribhuvana prema bhakti diya. The Sankirtana movement went on from one part of the town to another as the Lord wandered everywhere performing kirtana. In this way, he inundated the whole world by distributing love of Godhead. Srila Prabhupada has nice purport here. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. One may raise the question, how all three worlds became inundated with love of Krishna, since Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed kirtana only in the Navadvip area. The answer is that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. The entire cosmic manifestation results from the Lord's first setting it in motion. Similarly, since the Sankirtana movement was first set in motion 500 years ago by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's desire that it spread all over the universe, the Krishna consciousness movement, in continuity of that same motion, is now spreading all over the world. And in this way, it will gradually spread all over the universe. With the spread of the Krishna consciousness movement, everyone will merge in an ocean of love of Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada explains that the whole world will be inundated by love of God. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is doing this through us. He is purifying the whole world by using us. We are the instruments, if we are willing to be instruments. There is a nice story with one of the great devotees of Lord Chaitanya, Vasudeva Datta. Have you heard about Vasudeva Datta? So Vasudeva Datta, originally he is from nowadays Bangladesh. We have a farm there. It's called Pundarik Dam. It's the place where Pundarika Vidyanidhi was living. I think so. Chittagong. And very close to this farm, to the place where Pundarika Vidyanidhi was living, was the house of Vasudeva Datta. So one time Vasudeva Datta, he went to Lord Chaitanya and he said, "My dear Lord, I feel such a pain to see the sufferings of all these living entities. They are completely immersed in ignorance and they are suffering so much. Please, I want a favor from you. Please transfer all the sins of all these living entities to me. And let me suffer the consequences. And let them become freed immediately and go back to the spiritual world." And when Lord Chaitanya heard this, he was amazed. He said, "Just see the glory of Vasudeva Datta. Vasudeva Datta, you are such an amazing devotee. With your mood of compassion, with your mood that you want to save all the conditioned souls, you just bought me." And now Lord Chaitanya, he declared, "Now I am property of Vasudeva Datta and he can do with me whatever he likes. If he likes, now he can go and bring me to the market and sell me, and I will not protest." So then Lord Chaitanya said, "My dear Vasudeva, your desire is enough. No need to suffer because of the sinful reactions of all these living entities. Just because you have desired it, consider it done. They are already liberated. My dear Vasudeva Datta, all the universes, they are like a small mustard seed gathered in a huge bag. If now suddenly one of those mustard seeds disappear, do you think someone will notice? Consider it done. All the living entities in this universe, they are liberated." And now the acharyas, they have a discussion on this point. What does it mean that they are liberated? Immediately they became liberated. All the living entities in the universe, they became liberated. And then Lord Chaitanya brought another set of conditioned living entities and filled the universe again second time. Or rather being liberated means gradually now they are becoming liberated by the mercy that this Krishna consciousness movement is spreading. And here we hear Srila Prabhupada says, this is our chance. This is something Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left for us to do, to be instruments in his can. So just by going every day to doing Harinam Sankirtan, trying to distribute the books of Srila Prabhupada that he wrote, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, teachings of Lord Chaitanya, nectar of devotion, by spreading prasadam, this is how all the living entities, they are being liberated again and again and again. Yesterday we did our quote of daily Sankirtan and we were just packing at the end. We were just about to leave and a young boy, he just stopped next to us and he came to me and he said, "You know what, I'm passing through this road very often and I'm seeing you guys very often here. I just wanted to say that I really appreciate what you're doing. I really appreciate what you're doing. Thank you very much." And he was like very, very respectful. So sometimes we may go on the street and it may look like, oh, what is the result? Like nobody is taking a book, maybe nobody is really caring for what we are doing. But no, actually people are appreciating. And if we just have a little bit patience, little bit tolerance, we will be able to see this. Just stay on the street and we will be able to see this. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived in Navadvip area for 24 years and he induced every person to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and thus merge in love of Krishna. For his remaining 24 years, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after accepting the renounced order of life, stayed at Jagannath Puri with his devotees. For 6 of these 24 years, in New Achau, Jagannath Puri, he distributed love of Godhead by always chanting and dancing. Beginning from Cape Comorin. Where is Cape Comorin? Where is Cape Comorin? You don't know? Yes, the most southern part of India, Kanyakumari. So the British, they couldn't pronounce Kanyakumari, so they started saying Cape Comorin. So from the most southern part of India, and extending through Bengal to Vrindavan, during these 6 years he toured all of India, chanting, dancing and distributing love of Krishna. The activities of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his travels after he accepted sannyas are his principal pastimes. His activities during his remaining 18 years are called Antyalila, or the final portion of his pastimes. For 6 of the 18 years he continuously stayed in Jagannath Puri. He regularly performed kirtana, inducing all the devotees to love Krishna simply by chanting and dancing. For the remaining 12 years he stayed in Jagannath Puri. He taught everyone how to taste the transcendental mellow ecstasy of love of Krishna by tasting it himself. And here Srila Prabhupada also has a nice purport. A person who is advancing Krishna consciousness always feels separation from Krishna, because such a feeling of separation exceeds the feeling of meeting Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his last 12 years of existence within this world at Jagannath Puri, told the people of the world how, with the feeling of separation, one can develop his dormant love of Krishna. Such feelings of separation or meeting with Krishna are different stages of love of Godhead. These feelings develop in time when a person seriously engages in devotional service. The highest stage is called Prema Bhakti, but this stage is attained by executing sadhana bhakti. One should not try to elevate himself artificially to the stage of Prema Bhakti without seriously following the regulative principles of sadhana bhakti. Prema Bhakti is the stage of relishing, whereas sadhana bhakti is the stage of improving in devotional service. This is very nicely defined. So Prema Bhakti means relishing, and sadhana bhakti means you work on yourself, you improve your devotional service. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught this cult of devotional service in full detail by practical application in his own life. It is said, therefore, apani achari bhakti shikaimi sabare. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, and in the role of Krishna Bhakta, devotee of Krishna, he introduced the entire world how one can execute devotional service and thus go back home, back to Godhead in due course of time. So we can see again in the life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave a practical example for everything. He was totally dedicated to spreading Krishna consciousness or benefiting the conditioned souls. Then at the end of his life, he just immersed himself completely in the bhakti rasa, in the mellows of devotional service, experiencing the highest mellows of devotional service. It means in our spiritual life we should have both. We should have time when we try to go very deeply in our spiritual practice. And then we should also have time to go out and share this happiness of seriously practicing Krishna consciousness with others. If we simply try to relish Krishna consciousness on our level of existence in Kali Yuga, it will be very, very difficult. Because our mind is a rascal and he is doing exactly the things he shouldn't do. So that's why we have to share the mercy with others, and the more we share with others, the more we are getting benefit. Actually, the best way to help ourselves in Kali Yuga is to try to help others. And the more we are helping others, then we will experience stronger and stronger taste for Krishna consciousness. So we will be able to relish Krishna consciousness ourselves. But the idea is that both things should be there. We should be strong in our personal practice and try to go deep in our spiritual practice, but at the same time we should always be ready to give. Like Srila Prabhupada. He did so much for spreading this Krishna consciousness movement, and at some point he could easily retire because the movement was more or less established. Many of the books were written, and he had already a small army of disciples, faithful disciples, serious disciples who could continue with the mission. But Srila Prabhupada said, no, I don't want to retire. I want to die on the battlefield, like Arjuna. I want to fight till the end. And he did it with his practical example. Till the last moment, till his last breath, Srila Prabhupada was fixed on the orders of his spiritual master. Just make this message of Krishna consciousness available to the English-speaking people. And this is what Srila Prabhupada was trying to do. So, till the end of his life, 100% dedicated to the desire, to the order, to the mission of the spiritual master. So this is a real success for us. Yes, we try to be serious in our sadhana, we try to relish Krishna consciousness, but actually the best way to relish Krishna consciousness is to share it, and in this way to make satisfy our Guru, to fulfill the orders of our spiritual master. Then the nectar of Krishna consciousness starts flowing. Otherwise, difficult. Srila Prabhupada has an interesting purport, and he is saying, Krishna consciousness is not imaginative ecstasy. It's a practical activity for the pleasure of Krishna. So, yes, if we simply fix ourselves on the orders of our spiritual master, then there will be 100% success. Nothing will lack in our Krishna consciousness, in our spiritual life. Day and night Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt separation from Krishna, manifesting symptoms of this separation. He cried and talked very inconsistently, like a madman. As Srimati Radharani talked inconsistently when she met Uddhava, so also Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu relished both day and night such ecstatic talk in the mood of Srimati Radharani. The Lord used to read the books of Vidyapati, Jayadeva and Chandidasa, relishing their songs with his confidential associates like Sri Ramananda Raya and Swarup Damodar Goswami. So in his conversation with Sri Ramananda Raya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually illustrated what is the sum and substance of his teachings. We know this famous conversation with Sri Ramananda Raya when this conversation happened in South India on the bank of the river Godavari. Gange Chai Yamuna Chaiva Godavari Saraswati. So one of the holy rivers, Godavari. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asking questions, Ramananda Raya, tell me what is the real goal of human life? And he was giving different options. But it doesn't matter what he's going to say. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, no, this is external. You're missing the essence. Huh? Eko Bahya. Tell me something more. Give me the essence. Go deeper. And then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became satisfied only when he heard a verse from 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Gyane prayasya udapasya namanteva. Yes. Stanestita shrutigatam. Just stay wherever you are, stay in your fixed position. If you are brahmachari, stay brahmachari. If you are grihasta, stay grihasta. Don't change externally, no need. But you should always hear about Krishna. You should listen about Krishna from a pure devotee. This is the essence, the son and substance of this process. And when Lord Chaitanya heard this verse, he said, okay, that's okay now. This is okay. In other words, only pure devotional service can help you to achieve the real goal of human life, which is Krishna Prema. Anything under this is not acceptable. And then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was pushing forward, move more, tell me more, until they reached to the point what is the real goal of human life, to try to achieve love of Godhead similar to the love of the gopis, which are the greatest devotees of the Lord, of Shri Krishna. So in this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he established the essence of his teachings. What is the goal? How we call goal in Sanskrit? We have a term in our philosophy. What is the goal of our philosophy? What is the... Prayojana? Yes, very good. Then another term is sadhya. What is the goal of our practice? Is known as sadhya. And then what is the practice itself? What is the sadhana? So when Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will tour around India, he will enter in debates with the religious leaders of other spiritual groups. So he would always ask them these two things. So tell me, what is the essence of your teachings? What is your goal? And what is your practice to achieve this goal? In this way, very easily he will understand. Are they devotees? Are they pure devotees? Are they atheists? By asking these two questions, you can very easily understand. So in this conversation with Sri Ramananda Raya, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he established these two things. What is our goal? We are trying to achieve love, like the love of themselves, of Goloka Vrindavan, and especially the gopis. And what is the way to achieve this? What is the sadhana? Shuddha Bhakti. Pure devotional service, following in the footsteps of our acharyas, Guru Parampara. This is the process. So he established this. Then he was so happy with the association of Sri Ramananda Raya. He said, why don't you just retire and come with me to Jagannath Puri? We'll have so much fun there together with you. And this is what happened. Ramananda Raya asked Maharaja Prataparudra to retire and to go there. And Maharaja Prataparudra, first he was so happy from his service, and secondly he was so happy that he wants to dedicate his life to service and association with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because this Maharaj, he was also a great Vaishnava of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he said, yes, no problem, just go there. Actually, I'll give you a full salary. You don't have to work, but anyway, I'll give you full salary. In separation from Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu relished all these ecstatic activities, and thus he fulfilled his own desires. The pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are unlimited. How much can a small living entity elaborate about those transcendental pastimes? If Sheshanaga, Ananta personally were to make the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya into sutras, even with his thousands of mouths, there is no possibility that he could find their limit. Harivo. Devotees like Shri Swarup Damodar and Murari Gupta have recorded all the principal pastimes of Lord Chaitanya in the form of notes after deliberate consideration. The notes kept by Shri Swarup Damodar and Murari Gupta are the basis of this book. Following those notes, I write of all the pastimes of the Lord. The notes have been described elaborately by Vrindavan Das Thakur. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he went to reside in Vrindavan. Yes? By the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, he got this instruction, he has to go and reside in Vrindavan. At that time, the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya were, I think they were over. And still he would listen every day the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya from the mouth of Raghunath Das Goswami, who would give every day 2-3 hours of discourses describing the different pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. He was witness to the many of the pastimes, and many of those pastimes he heard personally from those close associates like Swarup Damodar Goswami. And he would read his notes and the notes of Murari Gupta. So in this way, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he get to know all the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. And of course, he is not an ordinary living entity. He had a vision of the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. But this is how he got them, by Guru Parampara, by hearing them from Raghunath Das Goswami, and by the notes of those two great acharyas, Swarup Damodar and Murari Gupta. So he says those pastimes, they were recorded already by Vrindavan Das Thakur. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, the authorized writer of the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is as good as Shiva Vyasadeva. He has described the pastimes in such a way as to make them sweeter and sweeter. In fact, we know Vrindavan Das Thakur is Vyasadeva, who comes in the pastimes of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to write, to record his pastimes. And Vrindavan Das Thakur is born as a son of... Who is the mother of Vrindavan Das Thakur? Narayani Devi, yes. And she got a special mercy from Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Can you hear? Or no? Okay. So when she was a young girl, Narayani, she got the special mercy of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And later Vrindavan Das Thakur was born from her womb. Being afraid of his book becoming too voluminous, he left some places without vivid descriptions. I shall try to fill those places as far as possible. So we can say that in a sense, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is like a supplement to Chaitanya Bhagavata. Srila Prabhupada, he was thinking which book to translate, Chaitanya Bhagavata or Chaitanya Charitamrita. But he chose Chaitanya Charitamrita because there is a very sound presentation of the philosophy in the beginning of the book. So he wanted in this way actually to establish how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is non different but Krishna himself. That's why he chose Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So basically the first 13 chapters of Chaitanya Charitamrita are just establishing the truth about Lord Chaitanya, about his close associates, about his mission. All these things are very philosophically explained. The transcendental pastimes of Lord Chaitanya have actually been relished by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. I am simply trying to chew the remnants of food left by him. My dear devotees of Lord Chaitanya, let me now write a synopsis of the Adi Lila. I write of these pastimes in brief because it is not possible to describe them in full. To fulfill a particular desire within his mind, Lord Krishna Vrajendra Kumar decided to descend to this planet after mature contemplation. Lord Krishna therefore first allowed his family of superiors to descend to the earth. I shall try to describe them in brief because it is not possible to describe them fully. Lord Shri Krishna, before appearing as Lord Chaitanya, requested these devotees to precede him. Shri Sachi Devi, Jagannath Mishra, Madhavendra Puri, Keshava Bharati, Ishvara Puri, Advaita Acharya, Shivas Pandit, Acharya Ratna, Vidyanidhi, and Thakur Haridas. So those are all great devotees, eternal associates of the Lord. And when the Lord comes to perform his pastimes, they always come and join him. They don't want to miss the fun. There was one of the Gaura boys coming from the spiritual world. There is an interesting story. Because just it was time for Krishna to appear as Lord Chaitanya and Balaram as Lord Nityananda. But at that time actually they were playing games and they were playing, how do you call this game? Seek and hide? Hide and seek, okay. So they were playing this game and this Gaura boy, he hid himself so well that for a long time he was waiting someone to find him, but nobody could find him. So when he came out from his secret place, there was nobody. There was nobody there. And he said, hey, where is everybody? Where are all the Gaura boys? And then Nityananda Prabhu appeared. And he said, come on, you're late. We are already going down on the earth to perform the pastimes. Lord Chaitanya is appearing. We have to spread the Yuga Dharma, chanting of the holy names. Why you're late? And then he saw Balaram, Nityananda, who was already very small, because he took the form according to Kali Yuga. So he said, I don't believe you. I don't believe you that you are Balaram. You don't look like Balaram. Balaram, he's Bala. He's the strongest one. You're very tiny, very small. I don't believe. He said, no, I'm Balaram. Just now I'm taking this body of Nityananda Prabhu. And he said, prove me this. And Nityananda Prabhu said, okay, let's have a competition. Who is running faster? Then they started running. And of course, Nityananda Prabhu won. And then he said, okay, now I believe you. So what are we doing? He said, well, the problem is we actually don't have time even to change your form. It's already too late. So you just come like that and you join the pastimes. So this particular Gaura boy, what was his name? Abhiram, I think. Abhiram Thakur. He was huge. He was much bigger than all the normal people on earth at that time. And he was always carrying with him his Gaura boy whip. And it is said, whoever he touched with this whip, he got love of God. He just become completely ecstatic. But also it is said that if he would offer obeisances to a deity which is a fake deity, the deity will just crash into pieces. Or if he offer obeisances to a fake Shalagram Shiva, the Shalagram Shiva will crash into pieces. Because it's a fake. It's not real. So in this way he was establishing what is real and what is not real. Krishna is not present there. Krishna comes because of the love of his devotees. If the form is there but it's not worshipped, why Krishna has to be there? Why he has to be present there? So all these amazing personalities, they appeared one after the other, one after the other. There was also Sri Upendra Mishra, a resident of the district of Srihata. He was a great devotee of Lord Vishnu, a learned scholar, a rich man, and a reservoir of all good qualities. Upendra Mishra had 7 sons, who were all saintly and most influential. 1. Kamshari, Paramananda, Padmanabha, Sarveshwara, Jagannatha, Janardana, and Trilokanath. Jagannath Mishra, the 5th son, decided to reside on the bank of Ganges at Nadia. So this is the father of Lord Chaitanya. Actually, many of those associated with Lord Chaitanya, they are coming from nowadays Bangladesh. And if you go to Bangladesh, you can visit. Still you can visit. There are places where they appeared. Sachi Devi, Jagannath Mishra, his family, Advaita Acharya appeared in Bangladesh. Rupa and Sanatan Goswami, they were residing, I think they also appeared in Bangladesh, but they were residing there for a very long time. Haridas Thakur was preaching there. So many great personalities. In fact, the place where is the Bhajan Kutir of Haridas Thakur is just on the border between Bangladesh and India, but from the side of Bangladesh. And that's why this place on the border is known as Haridaspur. Yes, and you can go there and you can take the darshan. There is a temple of Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur is there chanting 300,000 holy names every day. And next to him there is another deity. Which is the other deity? Yes, the deity of the prostitute that came to Haridas Thakur, Lakshahira. Because she became a saint and she was chanting also every day 300,000 holy names. So Haridas Thakur is there, deity of Haridas Thakur. Next to him there is a deity of this great Vaishnavi. So one can go and see all these places, amazing places one can see there. In Bangladesh. Shiva Kadambakana Maharaj brought us there like 15 years ago. And we went to all these holy places. It was exotic experience. You have to cross rivers. Yeah. It was a little bit austere. Yeah, like rats are trying to eat our ears while we are sleeping. In one place, they stole the shoes of Kadambakana Maharaj. So we had some interesting pastimes. Huh? Oh yeah, we were crossing a river. We had to go to one of the Bhajan Kutirs of Rupa and Sanatan Goswami, and the boat sank. So the devotees who were on the boat, suddenly they were in the river, all up to their neck. One of them was holding a very expensive camera above the water. So yes, we had lots of fun. But it's a special place. Of course, now we don't recommend to go there. Wait a little bit. But definitely is something that one can go and see. Keturigram, the place where the first Gaura Purnima festival happened, organized by Narottam Das Thakur, Janavi Mata is also there, very close to the border also. Premastali, the place in the Padma River where Lord Chaitanya deposited love of God for Narottam Das Thakur. Narottam Das Thakur went to take bath in the river and suddenly like the river overflooded and he came out of the water and his body was golden. His body was golden and he started preaching. All these places are there. Amazing places to visit. So here we are discussing about the grandfather of Lord Chaitanya and how he was also coming from this place. Jagannath Mishra was designated as Purandara. Exactly like Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva, he was an ocean of all good qualities. His wife, Shrimati Sachi Devi, was a chaste woman, highly devoted to her husband. Sachi Devi's father's name was Niwambar, and his surname was Chakravarti. In Radhadesh, the part of Bengal where the Ganges is not visible, Nityananda Prabhu, Gangadas Pandit, Murari Gupta, and Mukunda took birth, all great personalities. Gangadas Pandit is who? The teacher of Lord Chaitanya. Gangadas Pandit. There is interesting story how when Lord Chaitanya was manifesting this pastime, he went in the home of Shivas and he said, Shivas, I am the Supreme Lord, worship me. And suddenly Lord Chaitanya moved all the deities on the altar aside and he sat straight on the altar. And Shivas immediately called for all the devotees and they started worshipping Lord Chaitanya, making kirtan. And then Lord Chaitanya wanted to give different blessings to all the devotees. Each and every devotee, he wanted to give a blessing. But before that, he would say some amazing things for all the devotees, just to prove them that he is the Supreme Lord. So he called for Gangadas Pandit and said, do you remember one night you were very late and you were walking with your daughter and your wife, and then suddenly all these Muslim soldiers, they appeared behind you and they were more or less trying to reach you and catch you. And you were running and you came to the river, but there was no boatman. So you were so afraid what will happen now. And suddenly a boatman appeared out of nowhere and you went on the boat and crossed the river. Do you remember this? And he said, my dear Lord, I do remember, but how do you know? There was nobody there. Nobody was there to see this. And Lord Chaitanya said, this boatman was I. I came to help you. And then he called for Haridas Thakur and he said, Haridas, do you remember they were beating you on these marketplaces, but you were not feeling any pain. Do you remember this? He said, my dear Lord, yes, I remember. I was amazed how it is possible. They were beating me. I was not feeling anything. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, because they were beating me, I was lying on the top of you. And then Lord Chaitanya turned and showed his back and he had lines from the beating. So, yeah, all these amazing devotees appeared and Lord Chaitanya, he was there to reciprocate with them, to protect them, to take care of them. Lord Krishna Vrajendra Kumar first caused countless devotees to appear and at last he appeared himself. Before the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the devotees of Navadvip used to gather in the house of Advaita Acharya. In these meetings of the Vaishnavas, Advaita Acharya used to recite the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, decrying the paths of philosophical speculation and fruitive activity, and establishing the super excellence of devotional service. So, at that time, Advaita Acharya, he was like the leader of all the Vaishnavas. He would gather the Vaishnavas. Advaita Acharya had two houses. One house is in Shantipur. Yes, correct. And the other house was in Mayapur, just very close to the house of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He personally created a house there because he wanted to be there when Lord Chaitanya appears, to be able to witness all his childhood pastimes. And in fact, the wife of Advaita Acharya, Sita Thakurani, is the first person that goes to see Lord Chaitanya and brings presents for Lord Chaitanya. So they were living very, very close. Shivas, Gadadhar Pandit, Advaita Acharya, Murari Gupta, all of them, their houses were very close to the house of Lord Chaitanya. They wanted to witness the childhood pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. In all the revealed scriptures of Vedic culture, devotional service to Lord Krishna is explained throughout. Therefore, devotees of Lord Krishna do not recognize the process of philosophical speculation, mystic yoga, unnecessary austerity, and so-called religious rituals. They do not accept any process but devotional service. In the home of Advaita Acharya, all the Vaishnavas took pleasure in always talking of Krishna, always worshipping Krishna, and always chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And Srila Prabhupada writes, on these principles only does the Krishna consciousness movement go on. We have no business other than to talk of Krishna, worship Krishna, and chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So we should try to take these words of Srila Prabhupada very seriously and have the faith that if we simply do these things, automatically the Krishna consciousness movement will spread around. Of course, we may change to some small extent the way how we present these three. But we should not change the essence of the process, which is to listen Krishna Katha. What else? To worship Krishna, chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. These three things, they should always stay the essence, the focus of the Krishna consciousness movement. Okay, now where exactly you are going to chant? Some details may be changed. But these principal activities of the Krishna consciousness movement, they should always stay the essence. Srila Kadambakana Maharaj, he would give very interesting example. He would say it in regards to reading the books of Srila Prabhupada, but it can be applied also in this connection. If you are going to eat, what will be the essence of your meal? Is it going to be rice, chapati, dal, sabji, or is it going to be chutney, raita, what? Papat, yes. So what is the essence of the meal? Yes. And the other things, they just bring some extra variety, yes? They just give some extra taste. But you cannot without the main things. If the main things are not there, you'll be starving. So Maharaj was explaining that when we read the books of Srila Prabhupada, the main book should be always Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Nectar of Devotion. This is like the bread, the rice, the dal. They will nourish us very deeply. They will make us strong in Krishna consciousness. And okay, then from time to time, you need a little bit extra juice. You need some rasagula, some sandesh, so you can read something else. Ramayana, Mahabharata. But this should be always the essence. And in the same way, when it comes to the activities of Krishna consciousness movement, these three should always stay the essence. To listen Krishna Katha, to worship Krishna, and to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. This is the essence of our spiritual practice. But Sri Advaita Acharya Prabhu felt pained to see all the people without Krishna consciousness simply merging in material sense enjoyment. Seeing the condition of the world, he began to think seriously of how all these people could be delivered from the clutches of Maya. Sri Advaita Acharya Prabhu taught, if Krishna himself appears in order to distribute the cult of devotional service, then only will liberation be possible for all the people. With this consideration, Advaita Acharya Prabhu, promising to cause Lord Krishna to descend, began to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna with Tulsi leaves and water of Ganges. So that's why we say that Advaita Acharya is the main reason for Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to appear on this world. Because of his desire, Lord Chaitanya to come and to give his mercy to the conditioned souls, he came. By loud cries, he invited Krishna to appear, and this repeated invitation attracted Lord Krishna to descend. Before the birth of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, 8 daughters took birth, one after another, from the womb of Sachimata, the wife of Jagannath Mishra. But just after their birth, they all died. Jagannath Mishra was very unhappy at the death of his children, one after another. Therefore, desiring a son, he worshipped the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. After this, Jagannath Mishra got a son of the name Vishwarupa, who was most powerful and highly qualified because he was an incarnation of Baladev. So this is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears, Krishna appears, and Baladev should also appear because they are always together. Correct. Baladev appeared both as Vishwarupa and as Nityananda Prabhu. What did Vishwarupa do after Mahaprabhu took sannyas? Actually, in fact, Mahaprabhu went, one of the main reasons to go on a tour in South India, he wanted to try to find his brother Vishwarup, who left before that and took sannyas. Vishwarup is taking sannyas and disappearing with a mendicant, traveling around India. So Lord Chaitanya wanted to find him. That was one of the reasons. Let's read the purport of Srila Prabhupada. Vishwarupa was the elder brother of Gaura Hari, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When arrangements were being made for the marriage of Vishwarupa, he took sannyas and left home. So when decided to get him married, he said, no, I'm not getting married, I'm leaving home. And he took sannyas. He took sannyas, name of Shankara Ranya, in 1431 Shakabda era, or AD 1509. He disappeared in Pandharpur, in the district of Showapur. I think this is in the western part of India, yes? Pandharpur. Maharashtra. As an incarnation of Sankarshan, he is both the ingredient and immediate cause of the creation of this material world. He is non-different from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. For the Amsha and the Amshi, or the part and the whole, are not different. As an incarnation of Sankarshan, Vishwarupa belonged to the quadruple manifestation of Chaturvyuha. In Gaura Chandrodaya, it is said that Vishwarupa, after his so-called demise, remained mixed within Sri Nityananda Prabhu. So they become one from two. The expansion of Baladev, known as Sankarshan in the spiritual world, is the ingredient and immediate cause of this material cosmic manifestation. The gigantic universal form is called Vishwarupa incarnation of Mahasankarshan. Thus, we do not find anything within this cosmic manifestation except the Lord Himself. As the threads in a cloth spread both lengthwise and breadthwise, so the Supreme Personality of Godhead exists directly and indirectly within everything we see in the cosmic manifestation. This is not very wonderful for Him. Because Mahasankarshan is the ingredient and efficient cause of the cosmic manifestation, He is present in every detail of it. Lord Chaitanya therefore called Him His elder brother. The two brothers are known as Krishna and Balaram in the spiritual world, but at the present moment they are Chaitanya and Nitai. Therefore, the conclusion is that Nityananda Prabhu is the original Sankarshan Baladev. The husband and wife, Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata, having gotten Vishwarupa as their son, were very pleased within their minds. Because of their pleasure, they specifically began to serve the lotus feet of Govinda. In the month of January, in the year 1406 of the Shaka era, or AD 1485, Lord Krishna entered the bodies of both Jagannath Mishra and Sachi. Purport: Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took his birth in the year 407 Shaka era, or AD 1486, in the month of Pauguna. But here we see that he entered the bodies of his parents in the year 1406, in the month of Magha. Therefore, the Lord entered the bodies of his parents 13 full months before his birth. Generally, a common child remains within the womb of his mother for 10 lunar months. But here we see that the Lord remained within the body of his mother for 13 months, so much longer he stayed. Shukadeva Goswami stayed for 16 years. He stayed in the womb of his mother. And no matter what, he will not came out. Srila Vyasadeva personally promised him, I promise you will be not touched by Maya, just come out. He said, I don't trust you. He said, why? He said, because you yourself, you are a married person. I don't trust you. He said, then what to do? So Srila Vyasadeva had to bring Krishna all the way from Dwaraka. When Krishna promised Shukadeva Goswami, then he said, okay, now I can come out. And he came and immediately went to the forest. So he didn't want to have anything to do with the material world. Jagannath Mishra said to Sachimata, I see wonderful things. Your body is effulgent, and it appears as if the goddess of fortune were now staying personally in my home. Anywhere and everywhere I go, all people offer me respect. Even without my asking, they voluntarily give me riches, clothing, and paddy. Sachimata told her husband, I see wonderful and brilliant human beings appearing in outer space as if offering prayers. Jagannath Mishra then replied, in a dream I saw the effulgent abode of the Lord enter my heart. From my heart it entered your heart. I therefore understand that a great personality will soon take birth. After this conversation, both husband and wife were very jubilant, and together they rendered service to the household Shalagram Shila. In this way, the pregnancy approached its 13th month, but still there was no sign of the delivery of the child. Thus Jagannath Mishra became greatly apprehensive. Yuambar Chakravarti, the grandfather of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then did an astrological calculation and said that in that very month, taking advantage of an auspicious moment, the child would take birth. Thus in the year 1407 of the Shaka era, AD 1486, in the month of Pauguna, February-March, in the evening of the full moon day, the desired auspicious moment arrived. And here in the purport we have technical details about the chart of Lord Chaitanya. If someone is good at charts, he can have a look. I don't know anything about these things. According to the Jyotir Veda or Vedic astrology, the auspicious birth moment is described as follows. The moon was in Leo. Leo was ascendant. Several planets were strongly positioned, and the Sadvarga and Ashtavarga showed all auspicious influences. When the spotless moon of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became visible, what would be the need of a moon full of black marks on its body. Considering this, Rahu, the black planet, covered the full moon, and immediately vibrations of Krishna, Krishna, Hari inundated the three worlds. So actually when the full moon of Lord Chaitanya appeared, the moon was feeling shy. That's why Rahu covered the moon. All people thus chanted the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra during the lunar eclipse, and their minds were struck with wonder. When the whole world was thus chanting the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, in the form of Gaura Hari, advented himself on the earth. The whole world was pleased. While the Hindus chanted the holy name of the Lord, the non-Hindus, especially the Muslims, jokingly imitated the words. So everyone was chanting. The believers were chanting, non-believers, they were also chanting. While all the ladies vibrated the holy name of Hari on earth, in the heavenly planets dancing and music were going on, for the demigods were very curious. So everywhere, the whole universe is celebrating the appearance of Lord Chaitanya. In this atmosphere, all the 10 directions became jubilant, as did the waves of the rivers. Moreover, all beings, moving and non-moving, were overwhelmed with transcendental bliss. Thus, by his causeless mercy, the full moon, Gaura Hari, rose in the district of Nadia, which is compared to Udayagiri, where the sun first became visible. His rising in the sky dissipated the darkness of sinful life, and thus the three worlds became joyful and chanted the holy name of the Lord. At that time, Shri Advaita Acharya Prabhu, in his own house at Shantipur, was dancing in a pleasing mood. Taking Haridas Thakur with him, he danced and loudly chanted Hare Krishna. But why they were dancing, no one could understand. Seeing the lunar eclipse and laughing, Advaita Acharya and Haridas Thakur immediately went to the bank of Ganges and bathed in the river in great jubilation. Taking advantage of the occasion of the lunar eclipse, Advaita Acharya, by his mental strength, distributed various types of charity to the Brahmanas. When he saw that the whole world was jubilant, Haridas Thakur, his mind astonished, directly and indirectly expressed himself to Advaita Acharya. Your dancing and distributing charity are very pleasing to me. I can understand that there is some special purpose in these actions. Acharya Ratna Chandrasekhara and Shivas Thakur were overwhelmed with joy, and immediately they went to the bank of the Ganges to bathe in her waters. Their minds full of happiness, they chanted the Hare Krishna mantra and gave charity by mental strength. Meaning in your mind you are giving charity. In this way, all the devotees, whether they were situated in every city and every country, danced, performed Sankirtana and gave charity by mental strength. On the plea of the lunar eclipse, their minds overwhelmed with joy. All sorts of respectable Brahmana gentlemen and ladies, carrying plates filled with various gifts, came with their presentations. Seeing the newborn child, whose form resembled natural glaring gold, all of them happily offered their blessings. Dressing themselves as the wives of Brahmanas, all the celestial ladies, including the wives of Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lord Narasimhadev, King Indra, and Vasishta Rishi, along with Ramba, a dancing girl of heaven, came there with various gifts. In outer space, all the demigods, including the inhabitants of Gandharva Loka, Siddha Loka, and Charana Loka, offered their prayers and danced to the accompaniment of music, songs, and the beating of drums. Similarly, in Navadvip city, all the professional dancers, musicians, and blessers gathered together, dancing in great jubilation. No one could understand who was coming and who was going, who was dancing and who was singing, nor could they understand one another's language. Yet all unhappiness and lamentation were immediately dissipated, and people became all jubilant. Thus Jagannath Mishra was also overwhelmed with joy. Chandrasekhara Acharya and Shivas Thakur both came to Jagannath Mishra and drew his attention in various ways. They performed the ritualistic ceremonies prescribed at the time of birth according to religious principles. Jagannath Mishra also gave varieties of charity. Whatever riches Jagannath Mishra collected in the form of gifts and presentations, and whatever he had in his home, he distributed among the brahmanas, professional singers, dancers, bhattas, and the poor. He honored them all by giving them riches in charity. The wife of Shivas Thakur, whose name was Malini, accompanied by the wife of Chandrasekhara Acharya, Acharya Ratna, and other ladies came there in great happiness to worship the baby with paraphernalia such as vermilion, turmeric, oil, fused rice, bananas, and coconuts. One day, shortly after Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born, Advaita Acharya's wife, Sita Devi, who is worshipable by the whole world, took her husband's permission and went to see that topmost child with all kinds of gifts and presentations. She brought different kinds of golden ornaments, including armlets, necklaces, ankles, and bangles for the hands. There were also tiger nails set in gold, waist decorations of silk and lace, ornaments for the hands and legs, nicely printed silken saris, and a child's garment, also made of silk. Many other riches, including gold and silver coins, were also presented to the child. Riding in a palanquin covered with cloth and accompanied by maidservants, Sita Thakurani came to the house of Jagannath Mishra, bringing with her many auspicious articles such as fresh grass, paddy, gorochana, turmeric, kunkuma, and sandalwood. All these presentations filled a large basket. When Sita Thakurani came to the house of Sachi Devi, bringing with her many kinds of eatables, dresses, and other gifts, she was astonished to see the newborn child, for she appreciated that except for a difference in color, the child was directly Krishna of Gokula himself. Haribo. Seeing the transcendental body, effulgence of the child, each of his nicely constructed limbs, full of auspicious signs and resembling a form of gold, Sita Thakurani was very pleased and because of her maternal affection, she felt as if her heart were melting. She blessed the newborn child by placing fresh grass and paddy on his head and saying, "May you be blessed with the long duration of life." But being afraid of ghosts and witches, she gave the child the name Nimai. Hare Krishna. We can go on, but I think if Hamsarupa Prabhu was here, he would say there are many practical things to be done today for the festival. So after getting immersed in the pastimes, in the appearance pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, now we as the devotees can do something for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we have unlimited opportunities. Choose your field of action and be ecstatic. So I think today many guests will come. Maybe 500, maybe more. We are expecting ecstatic kirtanas, ecstatic abhishek. There will be more katha in the evening, and of course, ecstatic prasadam. Now we are not going to speak about it because it's still morning, but we are expecting some ecstatic prasadam. Only 6 more verses. Would you like to finish the chapter? Yes? Okay. Let's finish the chapter. On the day the mother and son bathed and left the maternity home, Sita Thakurani gave them all kinds of ornaments and garments, and then also honored Jagannath Mishra. Then Sita Thakurani, being honored by Mother Sachi Devi and Jagannath Mishra, was greatly happy within her mind, and thus she returned home. In this way, Mother Sachi Devi and Jagannath Mishra, having obtained a son who was the husband of the goddess of fortune, had all their desires fulfilled. Their house was always filled with riches and grains. As they saw the beloved body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, day after day, their pleasure increases. Jagannath Mishra was an ideal Vaishnava. He was peaceful, restrained in sense gratification, pure and controlled. Therefore, he had no desire to enjoy material opulence. Whatever money came, because of the influence of his transcendental son, he gave it in charity to the Brahmanas for the satisfaction of Vishnu. So many presents were brought, because we heard even the demigods, they came to offer presents to Lord Chaitanya. But whatever heaps of riches were gathered in the home of Jagannath Mishra, he immediately distributed everything. He didn't want to keep anything for himself. After calculating the birth moment of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nilambar Chakravarti privately said to Jagannath Mishra that he saw all the different symptoms of a great personality in both the body and the birth moment of the child. Thus he understood that in the future this child would deliver all the 3 worlds. In this way, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, out of his causeless mercy, made his advent in the house of Sachi Devi. Lord Chaitanya is very merciful to anyone who hears this narration of his birth, and thus such a person attains the lotus feet of the Lord. Wow, we are very lucky. We got special mercy. Anyone who attains a human body but does not take to the cult of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is baffled in his opportunity. Amrita Dhuni is a flowing river of a nectar of devotional service. If after getting a human body one drinks the water in a poison pit of material happiness instead of the water of such a river, it would be better for him not to have lived, but to have died long ago. Taking on my head as my own property the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Acharya Advaita Chandra, Swarup Damodar, Rupa Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami, I, Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, have thus described the advent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, 13th chapter, describing the advent of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jaya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Jaya Shri Advaita, Jaya Gaura Chandra, Shishi Nitai Gaura Premanande ki. I'm just checking if you're sleeping or not. Okay, dear devotees, thank you very much. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaura.